flag racing time. Let's get this show on the road.
Oh, the six dance triumph. Only it's Charlie Davenport. It's gonna be Alex Fletcher. Going to be Mike Fink Jr., number 38, winning at Daytona.
Here comes the 19. Trey Wright wins the Indianapolis 200. And he's gonna win his second race here under the lights at Kansas.
A part-time driver is gonna steal it here at Charlotte. Over millions will win the Coca-Cola 600.
We are the NIRA.
We are the NIRA.
We are the NIRA.
We are the NIRA.
Side by side of the line, it is going to be Elijah Gordon.
Elijah Gordon at the line.
250.
She's gonna make it to the line and she's gonna win anyway. How about that? Kelsey Higdon. And Barry Stremme is out front. He's gonna cross the line and will win the Pumpkin 250. And hello race fans, and welcome to arguably probably one of the biggest Halloween events in NR history. I say one of, because this actually is a pretty popular event ever since 2017. It is the Pumpkin 250, and this is going to be the fourth straight running of this race. 2019, unfortunately, the footage of that race got lost, so that race is probably not going to be as memorable as the last two, and probably this one as well. And it's, you know, this race is probably going to be a very fun one. I hope so. I've done some testing, and, you know, this race is, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. We've got 42 trucks on hand. A lot of drivers are pretty brand new to this race. And it's going to make for some very fun action here, especially for the rookies of this Pumpkin 250. And then also the veterans, some of the returning drivers for this race, such as Kelsey Higdon, who won this race back in 2018. You also have Travis Crampton, who is back. You also have guys like Barry Stremme, who won last year's event. He's starting all the way back into the 28th position. And also a driver like Madison Tall, Nathan Stapleton, they're all near the back. So the object of this race is to pretty much just survive. It's just like any other typical Talladega race that we would normally go to, except this is a more spooky edition of Talladega Superspeedway, which is known as the Hallowdega Superspeedway, where the NNSCRA comes here for the running of their Halloween special event, which I believe they still run on Halloween night. Somebody may have to confirm that with me. But nonetheless, the racing should still be pretty exciting. The drivers are definitely going to be as hungry as they've ever been, especially with this brand new truck that they're going to be running. So it should make for some pretty good action. It's going to be fun to watch for 38 laps of action here at the Hallowdega Superspeedway for the 2020 Pumpkin 250. And I think I've done enough talking here, so I'm a little rusty. Just keep that in mind. So it's going to take a little bit for me to kind of get back into the mold of commentating. But anyways, the drivers are strapped into their trucks. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up. But in order to get these 42 trucks rolling off, we gotta get the command to fire the engines.
NASCAR fans, say it with me. Drivers, start your engines!
Pace trucks rolling off. And so are these 42 competitors, and as they're rolling off for their pace laps, here's your starting lineup for the 2020 Pumpkin 250. field has just taken one to go, and we are getting ready to start the 2020 edition of the Pumpkin 250. We've had 3 different winners in this race. Heard my phone go off. 2017, the inaugural race, it was Elijah Goring going to victory lane in a photo finish. 2018, it was Kelsey Higdon who won the race on fuel mileage, just barely coasting into the checkered flag on the apron on the very last lap under yellow. And then also Barry Stremme, who won this race in a very chaotic Pumpkin 250, multiple crashes left and right. He managed to catch up to Nathan Orman, close to basically coming to the white flag, passed him, and never looked back from there, and managed to win last year's race. Who is it going to be for this year? We're about to find out as they round their way through turn number 4. Top 10 starting order goes as follows. You have J.J. Reed, Matty Thurman on the front row in row 1. Row 2 is Louis Zankels and also P.J. Williams. Then you have Logan Williams and Roger James in row 3. Row 4, Brandon Yodel, Titan Nicholas. In row 5, Kelsey Higdon and Nick Kennedy. Pace truck is off. They're in the tri-oval right now. And also J.J. Reed and Matty Thurman are going to lead the field to the green flag to get the 2020 Pumpkin 250 started. They work their way down the back straightaway. Top 2 are single file, a little bit of double file, and 3 wide in the middle of the pack as they enter into turn 3 for the first time at speed. Right now it is J.J. Reed holding onto the inside line, still holding onto the top position. Then you have, looks like the number 01 peaking low to the inside and coming off the corner. It is going to be the 01, I believe it was the 01, leading lap number 1. That was Louis Zankels, and now you have the 08 of Logan Williams diving low to the inside to take over the top spot. Then you also have the 10 of Brandon Yodel, thought about peaking low and then goes back high because Kelsey Higdon in the 22 is coming to the inside. Val Moscow in the 51 is right there as well. You also have the 18 of Alex Lozano. Third truck on the inside, moving up through the field, 3 wide in the back of the pack, about 5 rows deep, and now you have 3 wide up at the front of the field as Logan Williams gets shuffled out of the draft. Kelsey Higdon takes the lead and will lead the second lap of the race. Lozano to the bottom of the racetrack. Following is the number 92 of Christian Vargas, and you also have the number 11 machine. The number 11, I believe that is John Stewart. Stewart now gets put in the middle. And now you have Brock Nelson in the number 24 moving up into the second position. As now Stewart, Vargas, and many others, especially the drivers up in the top side, they are now starting to lose touch. Well, not really lose touch, but they're falling back a lot quicker because everybody knows that at a super speedway, the bottom is the quickest way around this racetrack. Brock Nelson leads lap number 3. Here comes Josh Williamson in the 98 to the inside. Not going to waste any time at all. Goes to the point. Joshua Johnson in the 47 is right there on the bottom. Going to try to go for the lead. How about the 23? Brandon Nelson going to make it 3 wide. Nathan Stapleton, who started all the way back in, I believe, 29th in this race. Within 3 laps, on lap 4, he's broken into the top 5, already up in second. You also have Keegan Thompson, who is up here as well in truck number 6. And Sonny B. Williams in the 14, moving up inside of the top 5. As we come around to complete lap number 4 in the Pumpkin 250. Brandon Nelson leads. Nathan Stapleton diving to the inside as they head into turn 1. So now Brandon Nelson gets shuffled out in the middle line. and he will be picked up by Joshua Johnson in that black and yellow number 47. Thompson to the inside for the lead on Nathan Stapleton. And so far, we have not seen a yellow flag come out for an incident at all. Normally, within the first handful of laps in these Pumpkin 250s, we would normally see a caution come out for a crash, maybe entering into turn 1 or entering in turn 3 or any other given point. But right now, these drivers are holding it together so far, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. Cole Raymond in the 81. Diving to the inside. He'll take over the lead. The 93 of Casey Russell is following, and then you also have the 29, that is Stephen Colon. Or excuse me, that is the 19 of Chris Reynolds. Stephen Colon is the next blue truck up, way up on the high side, and now starting to fall back like a rock. That is Stephen Colon right there in the draw type machine. And then also in the Cooper Standard machine, that is Chris Reynolds, who is now being put up top 3 wide. Noelle Holliday in the 09 has moved her way up inside of the top 5. Possibly might take the lead away from Brandon Yodel as once they hit the back straightaway. Quite possibly, but then again, not quite sure just yet. You also have the 17. I believe that is Ace Garcia. It is. Justin Zeidel is following. And now Garcia makes it 3 wide. Or at least tries to. Couldn't quite make that attempt work. He's going to fall right back in line behind Noelle Holliday. And Holliday takes over the lead. As they exit turn number 4, let's see what happens. Is Garcia going to dive low coming into the tri-oval? No, he will not. You also have the 84 of Riley Snare moving up into the 3rd spot. How about the 5? That is PJ Williams. Williams now dive into the inside for the 3rd spot and is now going to try to get 2 birds with 1 stone as he'll see if he can move up to 2nd. Maybe 3 birds with 1 rock, as he might have a run to try to take the lead away. He does. Pulling up alongside Garcia down the back straightaway. How about Ace Redmond making it 3 wide? And that number 2 machine, that Applebee's truck. Moving on up. Roger James in the 60. You also have the 33 of Brett Sierra. And also the 32 of DJ Reed up here. How about last year's winner, Barry Stremme, who started near the back in this race and has now moved his way up inside of the top 10. I need to move the ticker. So that way you don't see the last few spots. Sorry about that. Roy Rippleton in the 28 is now starting to move his way up. He's inside of the top 10. DJ Reed might possibly make a move going into 3. He's going to do it. He's going to try it. Oh, crash already. Going into 3. There it is. That's Brock Nelson going around. That's Casey Russell. Nick Kennedy in the 15 involved. Also the 14, Sonny B. Williams. And quite a few other trucks involved in this one as well. Caution flag has come out for the first time tonight. And leading them back to the caution flag, it is going to be DJ Reed. It took him almost 10 laps, but our first caution has officially come out in the Pumpkin 250 for this season. There's Casey Russell's truck. The front end of that machine is just absolutely crunched. Nick Kennedy in the 15. A little bit of moderate damage to the front end of his number 15 machine, but he might be okay to continue. I see a little bit of damage on the right side as well. The 14 of Sonny B. Williams also could possibly continue. She is on pit road right now. A little bit of a damage on the rear end sides of the truck. There's Brock Nelson in the number 24. Heavy damage to his machine. Oh man, I think we might have had a stack up because now I see I think we've had a stack up. I don't know for sure until we actually go back and take a look at some replays. But it looks like the 92 of Christian Vargas has got a lot of damage. Same for the 39 of Jacob Byatt. Titan Nicholas in the 12 has a lot of rear end damage to his IPO machine. Looks like the 81 of Cole Raymond has got some damage as well. I think I also see some damage on John Stewart's truck. Same for Nathan Stapleton, I do believe. A little bit of rear end damage, but I don't think it should be too bad to hinder the aerodynamics on his truck. And it looks like all the trucks that do have damage that were either involved... Oh, Kelsey Higdon was involved. The 2018 winner. Unfortunately, has damage and is on pit road. So basically, the trucks that do have damage... See Madison Tull in the 4 on pit road. But basically, the trucks that do have damage, they are making their way onto pit road, and either that or making their way back out onto the racetrack or going behind the wall. As we're going to take a look at some replays. It is DJ Reed who is out front in the 2020 Pumpkin 250. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened that caused our first caution of the night here in Talladega Superspeedway. You could see it there, but 4 wide in the middle of the pack, you see Sonny B. Williams come up into Cole Raymond, who then both go up the racetrack and then up into Titan Nicholas, the 39. There you see he gets involved. The 75, the number 75 machine, Jonathan Dane got a little bit of damage. There you see Cole Raymond, or Brock Nelson going around. There's Nick Kennedy in the 15 going around. Nelson comes back up the racetrack, up back into Williams, Sonny B. Williams. Casey Russell, Keegan Thompson gets a little bit of damage. Some trucks lined up on the inside, just trucking it on through. No pun intended. But they're still going. Some trucks were on the bottom. They were digging, trying to get by this mess, and some of them made it, while others did not. Is that speed? There's the wreck. That 12 truck almost went up and over. And it looks like only about 6 or 7 trucks that basically just washed down the banking in turn 3. And then just from there, some trucks teleported back to pit road where others were able to drive it away. 39 with damage, but let's actually start now, follow along with this pack, see where some of these other trucks got their damage. I think from what, like I said, it was probably from the stack up. Wow, this 33 almost got turned by Josh Williamson in the 98. But let's see what happened here. I think there was definitely a stack up, because I saw Kelsey Higdon have some damage and a few others as well. So let's follow along with Kelsey, see where the stack up began. It probably began with Nathan Stapleton. And then, yeah, right there, John Stewart, Kelsey Higdon got some damage. So those were the trucks that had to come down pit road, unfortunately, to survey and also fix whatever damage, whatever extra damage that they had end up receiving from this, from the stack up on the yellow flag lap. So the caution flag is out for the very first time here in the 2020 Pumpkin 250. About 6 or 7 trucks involved in this one. And DJ Reed is the current leader of this race, and looks like he will be leading the field back to the green flag once we come back from this commercial break here at the Talladega Superspeedway for the 2020 Pumpkin 250. Alrighty, guys, this is the announcement right here. I've kind of had you guys wait for long enough. So without further ado, here it is. I hope you're excited. I hope you like it. Here it is. We're back here at the Talladega Superspeedway for the running of the 2020 Pumpkin 250. Looks like we only have 36 trucks left on the racetrack. The other 6 are behind the wall. That is Christian Vargas in the 92. Then you also have Jacob Byatt in the 39. the 93 of Casey Russell, the 14 of Sonny B. Williams, the 15 of Nick Kennedy, and the 24 of Brock Nelson. Unfortunately, those are the drivers that have smelled what the Rock was cooking here today, or tonight, really, at Talladega. Top 10 coming to the restart. That is the 32 of DJ Reed, who is out front. And then second is Roy Ribbleton. Third is Barry Stremme. Fourth is Charlie Davenport in the number 3. Then running in the 5th spot, that is Travis Crampton. 6th, that is Roger James. 7th is the 08 of Logan Williams. 8th is Brett Sierra. 9th, Ace Red. And rounding out your top 10, that is Josh Williamson. They're going to restart on lap number 14. Once the starter throws the green flag in the air, they're going to go back to racing under single file formation. Let's see if they can get back to double file, 3 wide racing as the green is back out. Barry Stremme tried to go to the outside, but Roy Ribbleton put a huge block on him and pulled up alongside of DJ Reed for just a little bit, but now he's starting to slip back as these trucks are getting up to speed. Charlie Davenport in the 3 is up to second. And is going to try to challenge for the lead, and he's going to do it. Look at this, 3 wide, already starting to break out. Oh, man, Logan Williams getting pretty close there to Barry Stremme, who is now shuffled up to the high side and is hung out to dry. And Charlie Davenport in the 3 goes to the point. Travis Crampton to the inside. Going to try to make it 3 wide. Actually, no, not 3 wide. There's 3 wide behind him, though. That's Ace Red in the 2. Underneath of Roger James in the 60. And now DJ Reed in the 32. Like I said, 3 wide is already starting to break out here in this race. Crampton currently is in control in the number 7. How about Ace Red going up to the high side? Because here comes the number 84 of Riley Snare. How about JJ Reed, our pole sitter, coming back up into the mix, making it 3 wide. Already up to second. Now chasing, now right there behind Travis Crampton. And now down to the inside goes Reed, underneath of Crampton, to take over the top spot, and he's gonna get it at the line. New leader, it is JJ Reed. Brandon Yodel knocking on the door as they enter into turn number 1. Now they come out of 1 into 2. Yodel takes over the top spot. PJ Williams in the number 5 on the inside, followed by the number 8 machine. That is Joey Miles and Owen Miles. Right there, nose to tail. Noel Holiday gonna try to make it 3 wide there for the 4th spot. Couldn't quite do it. And now they were 3 wide for the lead just for a split second as Joey Miles took over the top spot. Owen Miles right there, right behind them in the number 9. Thought they were gonna go 4 wide, but they are 3 wide throughout a vast majority of this lead pack. There's Nathan Stapleton in the 31 with a little bit of rear end damage, but as I said, really shouldn't affect the aerodynamics too much on his truck, and he is still moving up through the field. A little bit of double file and single file, a little bit closer to the front of the field. Noel Holiday taking a look to the inside, going to try to take over the race lead as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Val Moscow in the 51 is up there as well. This field now starting to go a little bit double file, a little bit of 3 wide now in the back. About 3 rows deep near the rear of this lead group. As Moscow goes to the inside and is going to take over the lead. Josh Williamson right there, and telling you got Jonathan Dane in the 75, Logan Williams in the 08 right there on the inside. You also have DJ Reed, Nathan Stapleton on the bottom as well. Let's take a look at some drivers that are way in the back. There's Kelsey Higdon in the 22, John Stewart in the 11. These drivers are now going into turn 2. You have Cole Raymond, the 19 of Chris Reynolds, and also Titan Nicholas already in turn 3. But the drivers that I would believe that that these guys would have to be most concerned with are John Stewart and Kelsey Higdon, because remember, as you saw on their trucks, they don't have any noses. They don't have any noses on those trucks. They're already in the trioval. Well, these drivers are entering through turns 1 and 2. So basically right here, this is 201 versus 183. That is almost a 20-mile-an-hour difference. That's just over 15 miles an hour as well, close to 20. So these drivers within a handful of laps, as we're coming to the halfway lap, but within a handful of laps, these drivers are going to catch those two, and then it's going to stack everybody up. It might cause a second caution if they're not careful trying to maneuver their way around Stewart and Higdon. So we're just going to have to watch for that as the race goes on. Halfway lap is going to be led by DJ Reed. 19 down, 19 to go in the Pumpkin 250, the 2020 edition. Louis Zencals. The 01 goes to the point. Matty Thurman, outside pole sitter, comes back into the mix. Joshua Johnson in the 47. You also have drivers like the 3 of Charlie Davenport. How about Justin Zeidel attempting to make it 3 wide underneath of Brandon Nelson? I think, for a second I thought I heard another crash, but must have been some drivers scraping the wall just barely, but we're still green. So thank goodness for that. Zeidel gonna be in the middle of 3 wide as they exit the trioval. These drivers are now starting to get a little bit more strung out. And another thing that these drivers are gonna have to worry about is pit stops, because now, since we've only had 1 caution, this race may come down to a pit strategy that could possibly get them the win. Maybe some fuel mileage, try to bet on fuel, probably bet on tires, but most likely these drivers are going to have to bet on fuel, maybe with a handful of laps to go. If I had to predict when they would pit, it would probably be right around within 10 laps to go, maybe close to 5 to go. They are 4 wide in the middle of the pack. They came pretty close to wrecking there, but they managed to get out of that 4 wide situation and save it. Now they're back down to 3 wide. Here at Hallodaga, as you can see, this place is wide enough for 4 wide. 5 wide is just a little bit overdoing. So you don't want to go 5 wide here in this place. You can make 5 wide work, but you just cannot make one tiny mistake. One tiny slip-up would cause a huge wreck. I should have said that earlier in the race, but nonetheless, here we are at this point. Barry Strutme to the inside. Going to make it 3 wide underneath of Riley Snare and PJ Williams. Brett Sierra in the 33. Second truck on the inside with Joey Miles right behind him in the 8. They are back to 3 wide formation. Nathan Stapleton in the 31 starting to lose touch with the group just a little bit. He's just barely got a draft off of Jonathan Dane, who is also at the tail end. But Stapleton is starting to lose touch very, very slowly. Brett Sierra in the 33 goes to the point. Logan Williams, Joey Miles to the inside. No help whatsoever. Is he going to be able to pull up alongside? He will now. He's definitely going to be able to pull alongside him now because of the help that he's getting from Val Moscow. The 28, Roy Ribbleton, is now starting to move his way up inside of the top 5. 3 wide now for the 3rd spot. Now 4th. Actually still 3rd. At least for now. Moscow leads that lap. And now here comes Roy Ribbleton to the inside. So far, these drivers in the 2nd stint of a green flag run, they're actually keeping it together pretty good. They've managed to keep it together longer than what they did in the first run, while still managing 3 wide, maybe a little bit of 4 wide. You also have Alex Lozano, who is in the middle line, trying to find his way back down to the bottom, at the very least trying to. Ace Garcia in the 17 goes back to the point. JJ Reed making a 3 wide. Roy Ribbleton gets shuffled out onto the high side. And we're within 15 laps to go. Now 14 to go here in the 2020 Pumpkin 250. This is some pretty good action, folks, so I'm going to go ahead and step aside and get a drink of water and kind of rest my voice for a little bit. Enjoy some good old action here for the 2020 Pumpkin 250. Closing in on 10 laps to go, Josh Williamson takes over the lead as they're closing in on the 2-lap slower trucks of John Stewart, Kelsey Higdon. Where are they gonna go? Williamson goes high. Everybody on the bottom side is gonna get held up. Just a little bit. Just barely though. But Williamson still hanging on. Higdon trying to go up high. Couldn't quite do it. Now the 2 slower trucks are now starting to hold up everybody else. They're getting stacked up. They are getting really stacked up. It's getting really dicey. Josh Williamson is going to end up getting away for just a little bit. Brandon Nelson moves up into second. Ace Red up to third. Well, everybody else is still trying to figure out a way to get by Stewart and Higdon. Everybody's still in the 3-wide formation. Now the bottom side is now starting to go on by. Everybody in the middle and top lanes, they're all pretty much screwed out at this point. Oh, Higdon almost got turned by Charlie Davenport there. Very, very risky right there for the 22 to come down under the 3. But new leader, though. They managed to catch up to Josh Williamson. He got eaten up alive, and now it is Brandon Nelson going to the point. Ace Red right there in the second position. You also have the 84 Riley Snare, PJ Williams. Josh Williamson still in this fight, blocking Brett Sierra. And so far, if you're within this group, you pretty much have a shot to win this thing, but everybody is going to be racing their hearts out. But you also have to keep in mind, pit stops are possibly lurking around the corner for these drivers. How much fuel are they going to have to make it all the way to the finish of this one? We're just going to have to find out. Maybe within a few laps time. 8 laps to go. Coming to 7 this time by. You also have the 23. Nelson still leading the group. Williams moving up into 2nd. Joey Miles up to 3rd. As that 2nd line on the outside is starting to drop back just a little bit. Not a lot of help over there. They come to the line. It is going to be PJ Williams taking over the top spot. Let's check in with this 2nd group, see if they've managed to get by Stewart and Higdon. They've gotten by Stewart. They still need to get by Higdon. Lozano pretty much on the bad end of the stick right here, as he is caught up behind Kelsey Higdon. Everybody in a single file formation as they're trying to chase down the lead group. 3 wide. Up here, about 4 rows deep. About 3 rows deep, really. So that will mean that all these other trucks that were held up by the 2 slower trucks, they're going to have a shot to close in. Barry Stremme is also pulled up. He has a possibility of becoming the first ever 2-time Pumpkin 250 winner, and could be the first ever driver to win the Pumpkin 250 in back-to-back years, if he manages to actually get up there and race for the win. Travis Crampton, who has been in the very first edition, he got screwed out early in the going. Then he was in I believe he was in the 2nd one. He didn't even come close to winning. I think he was even a part of the 3rd one. Same case. This year, the win is right there. If he wants it, he's got to go for it. And if there are pit stops lurking in the next corner, maybe within the next lap or so, he's going to have to nail that pit stop perfectly. Coming to 5 to go this time, it is Charlie Davenport, who has held on to the lead for a little bit. Not for much longer, though, because Ace Red takes over the top spot and leads it with 5 to go. Joshua Johnson right there as well, down on the inside. That's not Ace Garcia, that's Travis Crampton. I've completely screwed that one up. I'm sorry about that. But Crampton up to 3rd, makes the dive to the inside. Got a little bit of help there from Barry Stremme. Is Stremme going to make it 3 wide? He thought about it for just a little bit. That bottom line kind of got backed up a little bit after Stremme kind of got out of the gas. They worked their way off of turn number 4. There's some more lap traffic coming up. That is Titan Nicholas in the 12. Here comes Stremme to the inside for 2nd as they exit the tri-oval. Double file for the moment. They hit turn 1. Stremme takes over the top spot. Logan Williams is there. Up to 2nd in the watermelon machine. You also have the 98 of Josh Williamson moving up, trying to get by Logan Williams. Brandon Nelson going to make it 3 wide. You got the 2 Miles. Owen and Joey up here. Nose to tail, just like how they were at the start of the race. And now they've caught Titan Nicholas. Where are they going to go? Nicholas goes low. That means Stremme's going to get away. And everybody on the top side, I believe, is going to follow. No! Nicholas blocks both lines. Now the bottom is going to be able to go. And now Brandon Nelson is in a same predicament as he was earlier in the race, where he managed to catch Josh Williamson and pass him. So now Stremme is way out there. How about Owen Miles? Or that's Joey Miles. Excuse me. I am completely messing up. But still, either way, you got a Nelson going to the lead. That's Brandon Nelson, who has taken the lead back, coming to 2 laps to go. I'm surprised that they haven't made any pit stops quite yet. In years past, they have. Coming to 2 to go this time. Brandon Nelson still has the lead. DJ Reed gonna try to look for the lead. Gonna try to take it away as they hit turn 1. Riley Snare is there. How about Noel Holiday in the 09? Throughout the years, it's been a consistent pattern of male, female, male. Well, a female win in a 2020 Pumpkin 250. We're just going to have to find that out. Coming around this time by for the white flag, it is Riley Snare, who has taken over the top spot. They worked their way off of turn number 4. The pack is kind of broken up just a little bit, but that's just fine. You're still going to have a really good finish on this one, folks. White flag in the air, one more time around. I completely messed that one up, but still nonetheless, here we go. This is the final lap. Brandon Yodel to the inside. He takes over the lead as they come off turn 2. Down the back straightaway one last time. How about Matty Thurman? The outside pole sitter gonna try to steal this one. No! Justin Zeidel makes it 3 wide. Entering turn 3. Owen Miles in the 9 is right there. He could possibly make something happen if Zeidel is not able to hold him off. Here they come off of turn 4, heading into the trioval. Owen Miles to the inside, folks. This is going to be a good one. Get out your cameras. It is going to be Owen Miles winning the 2020 Pumpkin 250. Wow. That was a really good finish by 4/100ths of a second. It is the 9 of Owen Miles getting it done in the 2020 Pumpkin 250. How about that? 4 races, 4 different winners. The streak of different winners is still alive, folks. It is still alive. Owen Miles timed that last lap pass quite perfectly, and he gets it done. Justin Zeidel, oh so close, but he will have to settle for second. A great effort for him. Third will be PJ Williams. Fourth will be DJ Reed. Fifth, rounding out your top 5, that is Jonathan Dane. We really haven't talked a lot about Jonathan Dane in this race, and he manages to pop up inside of the top 5. How about that? Joey Miles finishes in 6th. JJ Reed, our pole sitter, finishes 7th. 8th is Noel Holiday. 9th, Matty Thurman. And Stephen Colon completes the top 10. The rest of your results should be rolling from the bottom to the top of your screen. Should be scrolling, I should say. But my, oh my, what a race. What a race here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Some pretty good action. Only one caution in this race, but these drivers, as close as they came to wrecking, they still managed to hold it together, which is actually fairly impressive. Some drivers coasting onto pit road and into their pit stalls. Some of them probably ran their trucks straight out of gas. Most likely. But either way, they managed to finish the race, and it was Owen Miles getting it done. Getting it done here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Like I said, really good action, only one caution, which was actually pretty impressive on all these drivers' parts to actually keep it together for a vast majority of this race. And how about that? A photo finish at the wire with Owen Miles on top. I know I've said that over and over and over again, but still, that's actually pretty insane of how this finish ended up turning out. But like I said earlier as well, 4 editions of this race, 4 different winners. Elijah Gordon in 2017, Kelsey Higdon 2018, Barry Stremme 2019, and now 2020. It is Owen Miles. Congratulations to him, and also thank you guys a lot for watching. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this edition of the Pumpkin 250. If you guys liked it, be sure to go ahead, give it a like. If you have not considered subscribing yet, recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And that about does it for me. One more time, congratulations to Owen Miles on becoming your 2020 Pumpkin 250 winner. And that about does it for me. I'm Elijah Leonard from the Leonard Station, as well as the NIRA, signing out. I'll see you guys on the very next one.